I gotta pee, niece. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, boy, hey. What's up? Is Nikki in here? Hey, man. Mm. Nikki. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, boy, hey. It's Saturday. Mm. Nikki is not giving me the option to come bring you on camera. Does it give you the option to send me a request, Nikki? Okay. Why it's not giving me the option? Maybe try to do it from the but it ain't giving me the option for nobody. Damn it. I wanted to bring Nikki on. I wonder if it's because I don't know why it's not letting me bring Nikki on the camera. I wanted the Nikki, call. You know what? I'm gonna call you. Call me on. Oh, I didn't put the phone on Do Not Disturb. I need to call you on my laptop on FaceTime. That's what I could do. Hold on, let me get Nikki on the line, niece. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressors, and dreamers. Yeah, they changing stuff on Facebook. They got this live video play and all this other foolishness up here, but I can't see how to bring Nikki on camera. They always updating over here. Let me see if I can find Nikki so I can add her. Oh, here we go. Let me see. Excuse me. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig, the writer Stewart, and this is the Facebook and YouTube live versions of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Oh, child, I'm sitting here calling the iPad. She don't even have it. All right, let me know when you have it, and I'm going to call you. So let me just give y'all a little background. So I'm not going to be on here very long. I just came on because, remember last night on the live video, I was telling you guys that I was going to try to locate Rocky's wife. so that I can invite her onto So Much to Say podcast. And I want to do a podcast with her. Well, you know, after a little bit of research, I ended up finding her Facebook page yesterday. So Nikki is now in Ohio. She's gone up there for, Thanksgiving, for the Thanksgiving holiday. And so I had sent her a message to let her know. I gave her the information on how to reach out to Rocky's wife or ex-wife, whatever it is, to ask her about coming onto the podcast. So I had sent Nikki a message, and I was like, hey, so I haven't given her the background of so I was just talking to Nikki just now on FaceTime, and I was like, hey, did you get the message? Because we're setting up another podcast as well. So I sent her a message and was like, hey, did you get the information that I sent you about Rocky's wife? Because I want to bring her on the podcast as well. And she said, well, I didn't get a chance to look at the message that you sent me. I said, well, let me tell you what I want you to do. So I was just about to explain to her what I want to happen. So I said, oh, let me go on live and tell you. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have the conversation with her once she get over here to this iPad. Let's try her again. Well, where's the iPad? For Christ's sakes. Why is no one ready? So, anyway, I had a great afternoon. It's rainy in Georgia. It's raining here. It really looks good on Facebook, though. The camera really looks good. The color and contrast and stuff. Let me bring y'all up some on YouTube. Yeah, that color looks nice. She ain't got the iPad turned on. Oh, she is not ready. Right, the iPad probably down here in Georgia. Hey, man. So I have a nice little wrap. I'll explain to you what's in my wrap. So this is a cucumber wrap. I have grapes in here. I have edamame. This is edamame. Edamame kind of looks like a little succotash. Chickpeas, black beans. That's where my protein is going to come from. I got bean sprouts in here. I got cucumber, tomatoes. I got avocado. I got some sliced almonds in here. And there's a mango dressing. Mango dressing these. When I say it's delicious, all for the very low price of $7, $8 with tax and stuff. Here's some Simply Sincere. You can have a bite. It's very healthy. It's so good. The grapes really set it off. Girl, her iPad ain't on yet. She is delish. She's so refreshing and sweet. Now, girl, what you eating?
A brownie.
A weed brownie?
Nah, it's a regular. Don't be putting me out there like that.
Girl, they can't even see you, but they can't hear you.
Maybe Facebook took away that ad option to add people to your live.
They may have removed the option. to add people to your live. But they got all this other foolishness up here. But they really need to figure it out before they add it back, though. Quiet as it's kept. Because, you know, sometimes the sound be going in and out.
JB gonna have me hack his whole computer because he stay talking mess about me.
Okay. Okay, so listen.
Okay, I'm listening.
So I'm going to explain to Nikki, because Nikki doesn't know just yet what's going on. So last night on the live, I was saying to them that I think, well, for some reason, I think because they always ask me, like when they send me emails sometimes or whatever, people will always ask me once they've read the second book. They're like, no, this didn't come from Tassili's. This came from Salata. It's called Salata, Salata. And they always asking me, well, whatever happened with Rocky? Is he still married? So I think it kind of provoked me to go look for his Facebook page. So I went on his Facebook page yesterday.
Oh, it provoked you?
It provoked me. I was stoked into doing it.
Okay.
And so I went on his page yesterday. And when the last time I looked on his page, it was years ago. And he didn't have his real name on it. He had like, you know, he had some little Facebook name. But when I typed it in the day before yesterday, it came up. It was under his real name. So I'm perusing through the page, and you know, so apparently he's back in his hometown. He's been back for at least a year. Because I mean, like the activity on his page has been like everything is in his hometown, right? And he's like, I'm just so glad to be back home with family. Because he does like little live videos from time to time. But they're only like 10 minutes long. I haven't seen anything longer than like 10 minutes. So.
His page is not private?
No, his page is not private. And he does not have.
Look it out for you.
And he doesn't have me blocked. So. I remember. So you were asking me, wait, who is this? What happened? So I was explaining to Nikki, and this is in the second book. When Rocky was living overseas, I sent him a little care package. Because, you know, we used to talk on the phone and stuff, and I would be eating little snacks. Kind of like now. I would be eating little things. And he'd be like, what is that? And so over in the Middle East, they don't have a lot of the snacks that we have. So like I would eat my little sweet heat potato chips and shit like that. So I put together a little care pack. I sent him some like Swedish fish. And so I sent him one of my greeting cards with the package. Because when I met him, I just relaunched Say It in the Card. And so
I need to go and pick up some cards and Say It in the Card.
Say it again for me. I don't think they heard you.
I need you guys to please come on over to sayitinaCard.com and get all of your holiday cards, birthday cards, as well as sympathy cards. Anything you need, we've got it over at sayitinaCard.com.
If you feel it, we say it in a card. So anyway, so I sent him this care package and I sent him a greeting card. And at the time, I sent him two different cards because one time when we first started kind of getting to know each other, I sent him a friendship card. But then later on, once we got, you know, I sent him a love card. Ooh. And I sent him a card and no, I think it was a friendship card. And it said, he had posted it on his Facebook page and everything, right?
Really? That was bold.
That's why I really feel like at some point he really wanted to be found out, right? So he had posted it on his Facebook page. This is during the time when we were dealing with each other. And so he had posted on his page, but he didn't let nobody see what I had signed. But anyway, in the card, I had signed Love, Craig. Well, when he came home from overseas, and he was home permanently, you know, he packed up everything he had over there and he came home. He and his wife had a home office, right? And he had the card. He still had the card that I sent him when he was overseas. And he had the card in his home office where she found it one day.
One day recently?
One day, as in 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She found the card.
I need you to stop chewing because it's about to get good. I feel it in my spirit. So finish up your chewing and then start talking because I can't have you pausing like this when it get good.
Well, see, I like a pregnant pause. See, I like to leave them in suspense.
Well, you 9 months now. Okay, so come on.
I'm what?
You 9 months now. Come on.
Pregnant pause, 9 months. Okay, so let me get this last little bite down. Okay, I'm gonna say the rest.
I can't stand you.
So she found the card, and when she found it, she trotted on over to Facebook and found me. Now I don't know how she found me, because my name is so general. It's Craig. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's Craig.
Yeah, but you also have impeccable works under your name.
Right. So what I'm thinking she did was, because it was a said in the card, greeting card, she may have like started tampering around looking for said in the card or impeccable works. Like, I don't know how she found me, but she found me. And it wasn't like it was a picture in there. Oh, but wait a minute, we were friends on Facebook. He and I were friends on Facebook, so she may have gone on his page and found my page through his page. But anyway, she found me. And she didn't send a message to my personal page. She sent the message to the Words Never Spoken, a memoir page. It's a Facebook page for that. She sent the message over there. The message that she sent me is in the second book. I copied it and pasted it. The only thing I changed was her name and Rocky's name. Right? But everything, every period, every comma, every semicolon, I left there the way she put it. So she sent me a message, and the first line was, "You don't know me, but you do know my husband."
Hello, Barbara. This is Shirley.
Barbara, this is Shirley. Barbara, this is Shirley. But via Facebook. And let me just put a little comma right here. I'm not laughing at the scenario because, that's not who I am. I don't believe in, intercepting relationships and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that guy that's trying to be with somebody's wife, somebody's husband, or even somebody's boyfriend for that matter. I don't believe in trying to, break up somebody's household. But anyway.
But seeing as though he's attracted to men, that foundation was right.
Correct.
No
but see let me take a step back. I forgot to tell you this. Latasha Jones said, "Tell us what happened. I don't have the book and I don't have money for it." Oh, Denise, I ain't telling the whole book. But let me take a step back. Before I realized that she had sent me a message on Facebook, he had called me. Rocky had called me and said, "She found the card that you sent me." And I was just like, "What?" He was like, "She just called me." He said she took a picture of the card, texted to him, and said, "Who is Craig?" Jake, the book is $20. One book is $20, 2 books $36 because it's a 2-part sequel. And then if you want all 3 books, it's $54. But one book is $20. My Cash App ID is TheWriter. Hold on. Also, Tito Warren. I don't know if you're in here watching, but Tito Warren, you purchased 2 hoodies today. And remember, we're doing a promo right now where if you purchase a hoodie from CraigTheWriterStewart.com, we're gifting you a copy of a book of your choice, whichever one. You didn't email me to let me know which book you wanted, if you want a book. I don't know if you have all of the books or not. But Tito Warren, I need you to email me from my website. Just go to my website, CraigTheWriterStewart.com. Yes, Bionic Chronic. It's on, the hoodies are on my website, CraigTheWriterStewart.com.
Sir, since we are having this discussion discussion.
hoodies.
Did you order some more like I told you to do?
No, you know why I didn't order? Only because they gonna end up being here while I'm gone, and I don't want them to come. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order them when I get home. So then,
They'll never come that fast.
can I get back to the story? Why is she trying to lecture me while I'm in front of the people on live?
I'm not. It was a simple question.
She's reminding me that I need to order a new book. Yes, the books are on Amazon too, Jake. The books are on Amazon. They're on Audible, and I'm narrating them on Audible. If you go to Audible, just type in Craig Stewart. The first book is called Words Never Spoken. The second one is called One Thing for Certain, Two Things for Sure. They're on Audible. They're on iPad or iBooks and Kindle and Nook and Google Play, all those places. So she had texted a picture of the card, sent it to him, and said, "Who is Craig?" Do you know that motherfucker told her that I was some guy that was interested in him that just was basically stalking him? That's what he told her.
I could see it.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
And so I said, "Are you trying to tell?" I said, "You mean to tell me?" And see, at this time, he and I were still dealing. And I said to him, I said, "Rocky," I almost said his real name. I said, "Rocky." And did I ever tell you that he chose his name for the book? He chose Rocky.
No.
Yeah, when I was writing the book, he wanted to choose his name. So I was like, this was the opportunity for you to get an out. Because he was struggling with how to tell her, you know, that he was gay, that he's gay. And I was just like, this was your opportunity to tell her. Why would you shift it? Why would you throw it on me and make it seem like I'm some desperate guy that was just stalking you, that just liked you, this, that, and the third? Well, obviously she wasn't buying it. So that's when she messaged me over on Facebook. So I read the message that she sent me on Facebook and I didn't reply. It took over a year for me to reply. Now people trying to call. So,
You were supposed to put it on Do Not Disturb.
I know, I got so excited and jumped on here so quickly, I forgot to put the phone on Do Not Disturb. But it took me over a year to reply to her message because I never had intentions of replying to her. And the reason that I replied is because two of the guys, and I didn't write about this in the book, but two of the guys, and I never shared this. This is my first time sharing this.
Okay, this is an Impeccable Works exclusive.
Yes, I could have put this on the Patreon. But two of the guys that he had dealt with while he was either engaged to her or married to her, both reached out to me. One was trying to holler through Facebook because he had told them about me. Listen, I'm seeing somebody now. I don't want to be bothered with you guys. Da da da. So they found me. One of the guys created a whole fake Facebook page, and he started like stalking me. And so like when I flew to Dubai with him, he knew we were going to Dubai because he had created this fake account. And he saw that I was at the airport and I was going to do, I only posted like a few different pictures, but I never posted any pictures of Rocky or me and Rocky together, right? And so one of the guys created the fake Facebook page and the other guy tried to add me on Skype and then he added me on Facebook. And I didn't realize who he was until after I had added him because at that point, I was just adding whoever sent me a friend request at the time because I knew I was going to use my social media to promote the books and that kind of thing. And so I didn't really pay attention to who it was. And then I went back after I had already found him because he knew my name. They knew my name and they knew where I would live because Rocky had told them that I had written this book. And one of the guys, the one who created the fake Facebook page, he bought the first book. Long story short.
All right. Thank you for your support.
Right. So long story short, I said to Rocky, I said, you could have told her in that moment. Like, why didn't you tell her that, okay, this is what's going on? So I went and saw her message. And so the only reason that I replied a year later, it was like 14 months later, was because these two guys, the shit started coming back up. And I said, listen, I'm done. At this point, I was done with him. I wasn't fooling with him anymore. I had moved on emotionally, mentally, and all of that stuff. And I certainly didn't need two guys that he had dealt with that I had never met calling me and trying to, not calling me, but trying to stay in touch with me on social media. Right. So that's when I reached out to her because I was like, oh, he's still up to the same shit. Rocky is still up to the same shit. Let me go ahead and let her know what's going on, because clearly he ain't trying to let her know. And so I responded to her message, and I said, what I said to her was, I never really anticipated replying to this message because I believed that you knew he was gay when you got married. I said, and the only reason I'm replying now is because 2 other guys that he dealt with while he was with you have been trying to get in touch with me, and I'm just not for that. And I said, so if you want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. I said, but just let me know. Soon as I hit send, Nikki, she read it. Like, this was 14 months later. It was almost like she was sitting at her computer waiting for me to respond. Baby, when I tell you, soon as I hit send, she responded with her phone number. Yes, I would love to talk. Here's my number. I sat right here in this chair, and I blocked my number because I ain't need her calling me days and weeks and months later. So I blocked my phone number, and I called her. And so she was like, hi, Craig. Like, she was all excited like we were long lost friends. I was just like...
Well, every good woman needs, everybody needs to be a good Judy.
She was like, hey, Craig. And I was like, hey.
Maybe she bought the book, too.
No, my second book had just come out. It had just kind of come out. So she didn't have it. But she did ask me what was the name of the book. She said, I need to get this book. But what I think happened was, because remember, about a year had passed from when she found that card from me, right? So I just feel like she probably kind of had healed a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, Alicia told me her husband was her good Judy. But I feel like enough time had elapsed, and so she had kind of probably dealt with, it a little bit. And so she was like, hey, yeah, I'm so glad that you finally responded to my message. She said, I've really been wanting to have a conversation with you. And so she just went straight into this dialogue. And I said, well, hold on. I said, let me just say this. I said, we can have a conversation. I said, but this isn't about to be a thing where you ask me a whole bunch of questions and I'm just going to answer. I said, because the goal for me is to clear my chi, my energy, my karmic energy. I said, this is not going to be a thing where I'm going to throw him up under the bus and you roll all over it and back up and drive on him again. And I said, that's not what this is for. I said, this really is to answer any unresolved questions that you may have. Craig, do you ever do a book club? I do, Cortez. I just did a book club the other day. They're in Baltimore, and I was here, and we did it over Skype. And I sat in, and they asked me questions. So, yeah, we do. Just email me through my website, and if we can arrange it, we'll do it. So, long story short.
One thing's for certain, 2 things for sure, and 3 things for real.
Right. So she said, okay, no problem. So she said to me, well, did you guys ever have sex?
You ain't tell her which questions was off limits.
Girl, I could have hung up right there. I could have hung the phone up right there. So I was like, yeah. I said, every time we saw each other, we had sex. What I didn't tell her was that I was putting my penis in her husband. Now, I did. Now, I did not tell her that.
You didn't need to go into detail.
So she was like, really? And so, I went on, and so she said, and so she asked how we met, and I told her, how we met. All of the details are in the book, niece. 1 thing for certain, 2 things for sure. So I told her how we met.
Turn those book prices down again for those who don't know.
The book prices are $20 for 1, 2, 36, 354. My Cash App ID is TheWriter. If you purchase through me, make sure that you send me your shipping address so that we know where to ship your signed copy. But the books are all.
So please check out Audible as well as Amazon.com.
Amen. So she was like, so she said, well, one of the things that you said in your message to me was that you believe that I knew he was gay. She said, I had no idea. I had no clue that he was gay, this, that, and the third. And so we ended up having dialogue, and I said to her, no, what she said to me was, watch this. She was like, so I told her what happened. And I told her that, I said, even though I don't know you, I said, doesn't mean I can't respect you. And I said, and so that was why I called it off. I said, because if it was up to me, if it was up to him, we would still be doing this thing. And I said, because I said, when you thought he was still in the Middle East, he was in Baltimore with me. Like he was so clever. And see, this is another reason why I couldn't trust him in terms of getting into a relationship with him, because I knew how he cheated. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was around him when he would take phone calls from her. Remember, I was in Dubai with him for a week. She called maybe one time that whole week. They talked on the phone like one time that whole week. And I heard him on the phone. And like when he came to Baltimore and DC, like I saw him interacting with her on the phone. I heard how he lied. And you know what I'm saying? So I already knew how he lied. And so I said to her, I cut it off because I didn't want to drag this thing out. I said, but I know that he was conflicted because he told his sister about me, he told his brother about me, and he had a best friend. And this girl that he worked with overseas. I said, and he also told her about me. And this is what his wife said to me. She said, come on now. You don't actually think he really told his family about you. Like, in other words, she was trying to play me like I was the dumb mistress. She was like, come on now. You don't actually think. And I was just like, no, he actually did. I said, I spoke to his brother during the Christmas holiday for 45 minutes. She was like, what? And so I went on and I explained to her like what happened on that phone call with the brother, and how, when I broke it off, Rocky was devastated. The brother told me that he cried, and, he didn't want to lose me, and this, that, and the third. And the brother told Rocky that he needed to be honest with you and to end the marriage. And she was like, I cannot believe all these times I've been to their home and they just laughing and smiling in my face, and all along, they knew that he was gay and da-da-da-da-da, and, just this, that, and the third, right? Salt and Pepper said, this story got me sweating. So,
I feel another book coming on.
Baby, I want it to be a movie. Okay? Just mash words never spoken and one thing for certain, two things for sure together and make a movie. So
I need me to be in it because
you want to be in it?
Go ahead with your story. Yes, I need to be in the next book.
So right. So anyway, so I'm telling her the story, and so she said to me, this is what she said to me. She said, I have to tell you, she said, everything happens for a reason. She said, because just yesterday, this was the day before she and I had this call. She said, everything happens for a reason. She said, because I have an appointment to meet with a divorce attorney tomorrow. And she said, and I was kind of on the fence because I just didn't know. And so she basically went on and on talking about how she had given him many opportunities to come out of the marriage, and she kept asking him what was going on. Because, again, sometimes
women have intuition.
we all have intuition, but I believe women are more in tune with theirs. And I think sometimes we talk ourselves out of what the spirit and the intuition is telling us. You already have the answer about whatever it is. It's not just about relationship stuff. This is about your job. Like, you know that you need to leave this job, but you staying at the job because it's comfortable, you make good money, and you don't really want to do the work of trying to find a new position. You like your coworkers. You don't want to start in a new workplace. The job is close to your house. You already know what you got to do, but you're not trusting your instinct. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. And so she said to me, once we got to the end of that call, she said to me, I told her about the book. I told her I'd written it in the book. And she said, well, what's the name of this book? because I need to get this book. And I said, it's called One Thing for Certain, Two Things for Sure, a memoir continued. And so she said, well, and I said, I'm about to go on a book
You had to
tour.
get the first book.
Right. I said, now you want to start with the first book first. So, oh, but what I was saying a moment ago, and I kind of shift gears. What I explained to her was, I said, he was very calculating and very crafty. I said, because when you thought he was in the Middle East, like, for example, like he had come home for like Thanksgiving, I think, and he gave her one set of dates that he was flying, but he had actually flown in 3 days before. He had flown in 3 days before because we were down to the hotel at the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. And he was, he met my family and everything. And this is why I knew that this whole experience just didn't work with my spirit, because I remember he had on his wedding ring. And I remember before we went into my nephew's, this is when Ty and Jayla and Chase and all of them, they were still living in Baltimore. They hadn't moved here yet. And I remember we had gone over to their house, and I remember saying to him, before he met my mom, I said, you might want to take that wedding ring off before we go in here, because my family ain't stupid. They're going to see that ring. And so he took it off. But see, the fact that I was even participating in that kind of stuff, it just was incongruent with my spirit. So that's another reason why I knew I had to get out. I'm like, if he doesn't follow through and get out of this marriage like he's saying he is by this time. So anyway, by the time we got off the call, she said to me, well, I know that you're about to go on a book tour with this new book. So perhaps, if you're open to it, I can come with you on some of the dates where you're speaking, because I want to be able to speak from my perspective as the wife. And I was just like, okay.
Did she write a book or something?
No, she didn't write a book. She wanted to come and speak on my book tour, like as a special guest. I was like, oh, I got this. So I say all that to say, when I looked on his Facebook page the other day, I'm under the impression that they're divorced. If they're not divorced, they're at least separated, because like I said, he's back in his hometown. And I was like, well, wonder if I can find her page. And so I started looking for her page. And I was thinking that maybe you, Nikki, could reach out to her, because I ain't going to reach out to her. But maybe you could reach out to her and let her know who you are, tell her who I am, and tell her that I want her to be a guest on the podcast. So much to say podcast. And then we can have a conversation, and I can kind of ask her what all happened and how did it work out, and what's going on now, and just Gemini lady telling me I'll reach out. Who is it? So, but when you reach,
I always want my job. Like, I don't understand.
she talking about slot. She talking about.
It look glamorous, y'all, but it's really not. It's a lot of headache.
It's a headache working with me.
At times, because you don't listen. You unruly.
I'm obstreperous. Is that the word you were looking for, niece?
You disobedient.
That's obstreperous. So
you use your SAT words. I'ma use my words. Same difference. Now keep going.
What I would like for you to do, per the message that I sent you, is to reach out to her, let her know who you are, and that and remind her who I am, and that I wrote about her in Rocky. You can put Rocky in quotes. In my second book, One Thing for Certain, Two Things for Sure. And she had offered to come on tour with me to speak from her perspective. But what I would rather is that if she's interested in coming on, Lady Blue said, oh, she ain't forget who you are. See if she'll be interested in being a guest on the podcast.
She should have written a book, because then if she had written a book, I can see her coming on your book tour, and you guys could sell them both. Because I would love to hear her perspective.
No, niece. I don't do oohs and ahs. I don't do background, so she can go do her own book tour. But I will have her on as a guest on So Much to Say.
I'm just saying, because I'm sure that there are a lot of women who have been or are in her
shoes.
in her shoes, and to hear and to have read your books and see it from your perspective, and then to hear her perspective, because to me personally, that would be devastating.
And that's what I'm saying. That's really why I want to do it. It's not about me calling to be messy and be nosy. I really, because for me, and those of you that have been following me for a while, you know this to be true. For me, it really is about each of our experiences enlightening someone else. So whatever it is that you're going through, whether whether you're a breast cancer survivor, or whether you're in this kind of a situation that we're talking about now, whatever it is, people grow from your situation and people grow from your story if you choose to share it. But if you don't share it, no one can benefit from your story. And so for me, I try to use all of my, that's how these lives came about. Like, I just decided that I would just start sharing, you know, my journey as an entrepreneur, as a writer. You know what I'm saying? Because there's somebody that's probably watching. You may not be a writer, but you may be thinking of starting a business, and just watching some of these videos, it might give you ideas and strategy on how to build your business. You know what I'm saying? I just want to try to open it up so that people can see themselves through my journey. And whether it's through the podcast, whether it's through the books, whether it's through these Facebook Lives. So I really feel like if she shares her story, maybe some woman that's in her exact shoes, there could be somebody in her situation right now that's on the verge of suicide because she's taking it personally. You understand what I'm saying? And could hear this conversation and be like, oh, and find reasons to live. You understand what I'm saying? Or there could be a man that hears this podcast who's living this double life, who will start to live his truth because of our conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about for me. It's not about, of course, I would be sensitive to her circumstance, and I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't be messy and, you know, crazy like that. But I would really want to have an honest conversation with her and see where she is now, how she's healed. Has it changed her perspective on men? Did it create some sort of a trauma, some sort of a PTSD? You know what I'm saying? In terms of dating going forward, like is she afraid? I don't care about. No, I'm not curious about what happened after my exit from the situation. I'm curious to know how she's doing and like how is she putting her life back together. It's not about any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, did he ever come clean to you about
Or
who
even
he
apologize.
did he ever apologize? So, you know, I would be curious to hear, and like I said, I think it would benefit people. And I personally think, Carlene said maybe she likes girls now. Guad, as it kept Rocky thought she liked girls when they were married. He thought that she was into women. That's why he thought she didn't really care that they
She
were.
did. Oh, so they was both just out here switch hitting.
What?
I said so they was both out here switch hitting.
What the fuck is switch hitting?
You know, in baseball where you can bet.
Girl, I don't watch sports, girl. I'm gay. No, I'm just playing. There are gay people that watch sports. Don't think that there aren't, because I know a lot of gay boys that are sports fanatics. I'm just not one of them.
You stay pulling it when it's convenient.
Well, you know. Right, but when you ask me to curl your hair and perm it or relax it and color, I don't do all that. I'm not one of those gays.
You're not the good kind of gay.
No. I don't do makeup. I don't know how to do none of that stuff. Mm-mm. But yeah, so you know, when you send her an inbox, hopefully she'll see it. Because you know, when you send her a message on Facebook, it goes to the you're not friends with her on Facebook, so it's gonna go to that filtered box.
Mm-hmm. But you usually get a message like, "Hey, somebody's trying to reach out to you."
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So yeah, so whenever you get an opportunity, send her.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to work on my vacation. I just totally.
Girl, I'll send you enough.
Work me to the bone.
Girl, first of all, here she goes trying to get a little. Girl, I'll pay you for an hour, okay? I'll pay you for 1 hour.
I mean, he already reached out. Was like, "Are you still gonna call me?" And I said, "Yes, I do apologize. However, Craig has me tied up at the moment. But as soon as I am finished, I will definitely reach back out to you."
Girl, now she on her Thanksgiving break, so now she working on her vacation. Oh, girl, whatever. Girl, I'm telling you, you black people will try to nickel and dime a small black business owner. I tell you, girl, when I really make it, I'm gonna have all white and Asian staff. I'm gonna have all white and Asian staff. I ain't got to put up with this stuff.
I mean, you say, are you about to take a nap? I say, yeah, and then you want to get into a whole conversation.
I did ask you if you were about to take a nap, and then I didn't pull you
Just
to.
like the colored person. You're going, girl, I'm laying down. Okay, well, listen.
And look, and another thing. Let me tell you another thing about having Afro American employees, not African American, I hate it when they call black people Afro American. And another thing about you Afro Americans, when you work for a black company, y'all getting y'all feelings about something, y'all upset because you got reprimanded or scolded or something about something, then y'all just want to sit at your desk and pout all day. Y'all don't want to work no more for the rest of the day.
Well, you know,
I go to work not wanting to work.
you hear my sister?
She talking about she go to work not wanting to work. See?
Well, you know what? On Fridays,
Sitting at the job just waiting for a check.
Work. Yeah, like I'm present.
You said on Fridays what?
I'm present, but I'm not there to work.
I do that
That's my
Monday
free
through
day.
And see,
I earn.
and see you black, and look, and see you black people. You wonder why these white folks don't want you come working for their company.
But listen, Monday through Thursday, I work hard. But Friday, I need a rest day.
Wait a minute. I just said that to somebody. Who did I say that to? And I was just, I was talking to somebody, and I was like, oh, I called my cousin earlier. She got a little part-time job at Target, right? She's stocking the shelves. And so I called her earlier to let her know that I was coming home on Tuesday. And so she answering the phone on FaceTime. She in the aisle stocking stuff. And I said to her, I saw the little red shirt, you know, the little Target uniform. And then I saw the little Target tag with her name. I said, oh, you at work? She mumbled, she whispering and shit. I'm like, hey. I said, girl, you at work? I said, why are you answering the phone at work? She said, well, what's up? What's going on? I said, see, this is why. She started working there for the holidays. I said, see, this is why these white people don't want y'all to work for them for the Christmas season, because y'all just in there to collect the check.
See, when they want to pay us these double-sided or double-layered Trident gum, I have to take, special, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, SAT. What's the word I'm looking for? Special accommodations for myself to make up for the lack of pay and benefits.
Girl, look, Carlene says, shoot, I'm a single mom with 3 kids, 1 in college, and I have a part-time job at Dollar General. I need all my coins. I know that's right. But yeah, so I was just like, girl, how you gonna be answering the phone? She all in the aisle. She trying to lay me on the shelf. She trying to put the phone on the shelf so she can talk to me on FaceTime. I said, girl, you are trash. She said, well, what's up? I said, girl, I was just calling to tell you that I was coming home Tuesday. She said, all right, well, let me call you later. I said, girl, you don't make no sense. But anyway, yeah, I'll pay you for an hour. That's all the time it took for you to send this little email and to talk to that guy the other guy that want to do a podcast.
I mean, well, I have to put on my super professional voice. Don't be rolling your eyes at my money maker, because you was impressed. You didn't even know I had it in me.
And girl, why the fuck are you wrapped up in this blanket? Y'all don't have heat in that house? Y'all don't have heat in that house? Let me show y'all how she wrapped up in this blanket. Why she wrapped up in this blanket like this?
Like Mary Magdalene.
Girl, how you wrapped up?
Like Mary Magdalene.
Girl, ain't nothing virgin-like about you. Girl, ain't nothing virgin-like about you.
I'll beg to differ.
Anyway, goodbye. I'm about to get off the phone. I'm about to get off of here with y'all because I got some writing to do. I did some writing earlier on the Book of Jewels. It is really coming along very nicely. I think you all are going to be really impressed with the dedication. The dedication is my love letter to black people. I'm dedicating the book to black people. Now, the book is for everybody to read, but I'm dedicating the book to black people. Did you want to hear it?
What about why not to black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between.
Girl, no, this is for black people. Not the book, not the book, but the dedication. Let me read you the dedication real quick, niece, because I done cleaned it up since the last time. Let me read the acknowledgments to you guys first.
Wait a minute, don't be giving the people too much because
Girl, this ain't nothing but the acknowledgments in the.
but you know they always want more.
I ain't giving them no more. They gonna get the acknowledgments and they gonna get the dedication. That's it. No, we're not ready for pre-orders yet. I'm gonna let you know. Okay, so here's the acknowledgement. So it says, you listening, Nikki?
I'm listening.
So it says, to my mother, Gladys Stewart, thank you for loving me through it all. You were first to believe and support my dream to write. Initially, you thought writing was just a hobby, that I could do that. Initially you thought writing was a hobby that I could do on the side, until you witnessed my first stage play sell out. Thank you for seeing the end goal and whispering encouraging words when I got discouraged along the way. I love you more than I can say. So then I say to my father, Milton Stewart Jr., thank you for telling me as a little boy, I'm proud of you, and you can do anything you put your mind to because you're smart. I believed it, so I did it. I love you. So then I say, I'm grateful for friends that encouraged me to dream when it became difficult to dream. I'd be remiss if I didn't single out Thaddeus Lancaster and Torrance Smith. Thank you both for all you've done silently to help push my dream forward. I'm equally thankful for the kindness of strangers who support my work because they're inspired by the work or simply because they wish to celebrate my effort. Thank you for believing and trusting my gift. Then I say, and to my online family, the pen pals on Facebook and YouTube, I love you equally. You've pushed me as much as you say I've encouraged you. Thank you for lifting me from my desperate times and being so consistent in your support. This book, this success belongs to you as much as it belongs to me. You invested in me. You invested in my dream. You stayed up late to watch my online foolishness and smart talk. You missed me whenever I didn't show up online and made it your business to let me know that my absence wasn't appreciated. You cried with me. You laughed with me. You laughed at me. But most importantly, we learned from each other and we grew together. I love you for loving me and allowing me the privilege to do what I love, create. So that's
To my doting, wonderful assistant who puts up with my BS on a consistent basis.
Let me put one little line in here for you, Nikki, and thank you to Nikki. That's all you getting.
You know what? Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?
Nancy is off. It's Saturday.
How she get off in the
Nancy is off. You off on today. Nancy can be off too. Nancy is our virtual assistant. All right, listen to the dedication now.
This is a hostile work environment.
Now look, the dedication, like I said, this is my love letter to black
I've
people.
been here a year. I got to go on FMLA.
Girl, we don't have FMLA over here. Girl, we don't have FMLA yet. Okay, so here's the dedication. You are the descendant of slaves that would not quit. Susan L. Taylor, former editor-in-chief of Essence magazine, spoke those words at Hampton University when I was an undergraduate. She continued by saying, there isn't anything that you can't do. You are here because they would not die. In the past, when I considered giving up in business or as a writer because the road became difficult at times, I'd think about them, my people, and her words. I reminded myself that I could never give up because they couldn't, and because I have their blood running through my veins. I do it for them. I rely on their strength. It helps motivate me when I want to quit. I keep going because of them. Our strength as a people is recorded in history, and it is unmatched. I love everything there is about being black. Our prevailing strength, resilience, adaptability, the rhythm with which we move and speak, our natural instinct to overcome, recreate, and survive. They understand our potential in ways that some of us have yet to learn. It's the reason the playing field has always been uneven and why the finish line is constantly moving. They know that if the playing field ever became level, that we would be unstoppable. Moreover, they fear that we would do to them what they've done to us. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that I didn't always love everything about us as a people. I'm guilty of being harder, more judgmental of us than I should have been in the past. I was embarrassed by the ills of the community, the ghetto language with which some of us use to speak, the rising number of underage single mothers, deadbeat fathers, the inflated prison and addiction rates, the failing school systems, until I realized a few things. One, the media wanted black people to see and believe those things about other black people. And those things weren't completely true. Two, it was my own concern of how white people saw and thought of us until I divorced myself from those thoughts and my concern about the white gaze. Finally, I realized that we've been severely marginalized by a system designed to encourage us to fail because our potential is limitless. Despite all that we've been through, we survive with dignity while managing to produce greatness. We've managed to find some joy in our hardest moments in this country because we're magic. The world knows it. Many hate us because of it. We remain the envy of the world for our brilliance and genius. Thus, it's important to me that I use my gift to help rewrite the narrative of the Black experience in this country without exception. In other words, it's important to me that I tell as much of our truth as possible, including the stuff that we don't enjoy hearing about ourselves because it's uncomfortable. It's my job as an artist because I see myself as more than a writer. It isn't my intention to divide us or incite hate, rather to provoke you and anyone that comes into contact with my art to see things from a different perspective. Whether it's my podcast, So Much to Say, my books, or my stage plays, I want you to walk away from the experience feeling and thinking differently. As I write this dedication, this love letter to Black people, I realize that these words are like a dog whistle, sure to incite curiosity from anyone that isn't Black, questioning whether or not racism is at play in these words. It's not enough for me to say I'm not racist, because statements like that require proof that can only be proven through my actions. The same is true for when white people say, I don't see color, or some of my closest friends are Black. Yet, some demonstrate biases based on race because color is the first thing we see. So to answer simply, because I'm for my people doesn't mean I'm against anyone else. I just love Black people and all that we've managed to accomplish with the scraps left behind for us, with which we've managed to make something out of nothing. I'm charged with the responsibility of being sweeter and kinder to, and more supportive of people of color because we've been excluded from so much. We deserve that from each other in the very least. I'm ready to see us win in a major way because we haven't enjoyed the luxury or stability of intergenerational wealth at scale as white folks have. I'm really clear, like most Black people, that shit isn't going well for us in this country, and it's been going wrong for quite some time. I think it's safe to say that many of us are disturbed by very specific systems of racism, gentrification, the prison system, the disparities in education, and within politics, to name a few. It would require too much from me to dismantle each of those systems. But I will say, if you haven't already seen 13th, From Slave to Freedom on Netflix, then please do so. It's a really great start for understanding the Black experience in this country. The disadvantages and disparities that we face as a people is evidenced in the news, television programming, and award shows that purport to promote excellence, but somehow manage to exclude Black and brown people systematically. White skin doesn't affect what white people feel when they see unarmed Black people being shot down in the streets by cops. Their life experiences do. White people who recognize these injustices aren't offended by these truths because they are equally outraged. and honest enough with themselves to acknowledge that there's a problem in this country between the police and criminal justice systems and communities of color. This book is dedicated to the memory of Trayvon Benjamin Martin. I'll remember forever where I was and everything I felt when the verdict was announced. I had no words. Anger and melancholy left me speechless. A day later, I was challenged to create more purposeful work that provokes change and illuminates evil, hate, and fear, similar to that which snuffed a light so bright. A hero emerged that night. You. You forced us all to take a closer look at ourselves individually, as a community, and as a people. Your life mattered. These words are for you, recorded forever in history, gone but never forgotten. These names have been etched in our hearts and minds and recorded in history and never to be forgotten. Amadou Diallo, Sean Bell, Oscar Grant, Rekia Boyd, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Tamia Rice, Laquan McDonald, Philando Castile, Freddie Gray, Sandra Bland, Alton Sterling, and many others. That's the dedication.
Nigga, that's a whole chapter.
Absolutely. My people deserve a whole chapter. Amen. Hey, girl, hey.
And to my Dodie,
Hey, girl, hey.
this to you.
Girl, so listen, this is what frames Book of Jewels. So, baby, if you like that dedication, baby, you ain't ready for what's in these motherfucking chapters. Baby, if this book don't get me to Oprah's backyard over there in Santa Barbara for a Super Soul Sunday, I don't know what is.
Impeccable works trip right there.
Wait, what?
That's gonna be an impeccable works trip.
I'll bring you with me to Santa Barbara, niece.
This goes, I will show out.
This might get me a TED Talk.
There we go.
Oh my God, you so crazy. Listen, I'm gonna finish writing. I want to do some more writing today. Listen, please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. If you want to purchase books, we got Words Never Spoken here. We got One Thing for Certain, Two Things for Sure. We got So Much to Say, a book of quotes. One book is 20, 236, 354. Thank you so very much for supporting me. I know I say it all of the time, but I really do not take it for granted. So as you can see, I'm very, very passionate about us as a people. And I know that it's not just black people watching, but I'm just talking to the black people right now. But but anyway, I appreciate your support. Listen, So Much to Say podcast is free. It is free, and it's available on all platforms, all right? Have an amazing weekend, all right?
We got work to do.
She talking about we got work to do. Right. Bye. See y'all, bye.